More about your assets. We're talking money. Joining me now is Landon Bradfield, VP Growth and Member Experience at Jordan Credit Union, to tell us more in the sponsored interview. Welcome back on this Friday.
Hey, great. It's great to be here always. And I'm really excited to talk about this because we've touched about this in weeks prior, about assets, whether they're appreciating, depreciating, liquid, not liquid.
And what are they,
yeah,
right?
What is that? And kind of tying it all together is like, what kind of assets do you have and what to watch out for those assets?
Okay, let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's jump right in. For example, let's see how you were listening before. House.
Okay, house, right?
Is that an appreciating or depreciating asset?
Well, knowing the market now, it's appreciating.
It's appreciating market, right? So it's appreciating. It's volatile a little bit, but overall, given time, it'll appreciate.
It's not like 2008.
Right. The reason why is because there's a finite amount of houses and there's lots of people looking for houses, and that creates demand and then appreciate, and over time, you have a lot of those things happen. So what about liquid or not liquid? How easy is it to sell your house right away?
It takes a while.
Yeah, especially right now. It's not liquid very much right now because it takes a while. It takes a while to find the right buyer and those types of things to make sure you get the top dollar you're looking for. So is it a high risk or low risk asset?
I would say low risk.
It would be like a low to low moderate risk. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Okay, next one.
You did a great job.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay.
A car. Like this is a commuter car. This is easy. Like appreciating or depreciating?
Depreciating. We all here.
It goes so fast because when the more you use it, the more it depreciates and depreciates really fast.
You drive off. Isn't that the tail? You drive off the lot and it's already lost half of its value or something.
Right.
It's bad.
Now, as compared to a house, is it liquid or not liquid?
I would say not liquid, but
it's more liquid than a house,
really?
And so I would say it's more high moderate. I mean,
because you could sell your car, you could drive into a dealership and they'll take your car.
Right,
because I keep getting the calls. I want your used car.
Right.
Okay. All right. Got it.
So would it be a high risk or low risk asset?
High risk.
Yeah, it'd be higher risk because if you're trying to get money out of it more than you got into it. But it could be a great valuable asset to you that you can get to work, and that's actually good. But here's one thing that a lot of people do when they look at cars. They're just like, what if it's a collector car? So let's talk about collection items.
Collectibles now.
So what's hot now is like Pokemon cards. We have to look at what the value is in Pokemon cards. A lot of people say, well, it's because scarcity, or it's the rarity, or it's the age. Well, Pokemon cards are only like 30 years old, and they have a lot of nostalgia going. But I'm going to show you some cards. You got some cards right here. This is a card from the 1800s. This is actually so old of a football card that if you looked at what football they're using, it is a round ball.
It's like a soccer ball.
Yeah, it's like a soccer ball because they didn't pass it. They didn't pass it forward yet. That's how early of a card it is, and it's pretty rare.
So I would think this would be so much money.
You would think so, but here, let's show another one too.
We got another one.
About same age. This is a baseball card from that, and this baseball card is from the 1800s, and is more rare than any Pokemon card right now. However, let's go through the exercise.
Okay.
Is it appreciating or depreciating?
I would say appreciating.
They are slightly appreciating. This is where the kicker starts. Is it liquid or not liquid?
So what you've taught me would be maybe it's not liquid.
So there's not a lot of people looking for these cards, and demand drives how liquid things can be, and so boy, it is not liquid. It might take a long time to get rid of these cards, even though they're worth like several $100s. And you think, oh man, several $100s, but then you look at these Pokemon cards and they're worth, some of them are several $1,000s.
I know.
What drives that?
Jeez.
It drives that because of nostalgia that people have with it. And it's predictable that that nostalgia probably will
continue?
Well, it'll probably degrade over time.
Really?
So there's always a peak time for collectibles, and there's always that peak time that it drops off.
Then that is high risk. Then to me, that's high risk.
It is a very high risk.
Playing the stock market. Okay, so we got high risk.
High risk. So as far as stocks and bonds, let's talk about stocks and bonds.
Oh, okay.
The same rules apply for stocks and bonds, and that is you have to understand the mechanism of why they're they're going up, why they're going down. You don't want to have a meme stock and think that it's going to keep on appreciating up. You don't want to have like something that's just nostalgia or cool in the moment and think that that's going to keep on going up. So when you're looking at an appreciating and depreciating asset, it's not the full story. You have to understand why these things are valuable and why they're not, and that if it's not, it doesn't have inherent value in it, and there's now no nostalgia, it might make the asset really non-liquid or not worth as much really soon after.
Okay, so you kind of have to look at that big picture if you want to take that risk or not.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story, is that you really have to understand what asset you have, and collectibles are great. I like them. These are from my collection, but I don't think that I'm not gonna retire with them for sure.
I don't know, though. Look at this one. What is this one's about?
This one's actually Chief Joseph. Actually, I was raised in Idaho, and Chief Joseph is really awesome in Idaho. I did a report on him in like elementary.
You don't want to get rid of this one.
Oh no, I wouldn't get rid of him. But what's interesting is that he was alive when this card was made, and also these cards were made about the same time. So what's interesting about them, even though they're old and they have a lot of nostalgia, a lot of people aren't looking for them.
I don't know, though. You just put this on ABC4, you might be getting a few calls. I can't believe they're only worth a few $100s.
Yeah, they are ungraded, but
okay.
Anyway, not about my assets necessarily.
But this makes it fun too.
Yeah.
You know, where is the nostalgia? These are things, because people collect coins, they collect all those things that really have a connection with your childhood.
Right.
So maybe that's what fulfills you.
Right.
But if you want to collect a car, maybe second guess that.
Right.
And all of those questions can be answered at Jordan Credit Union. That information right there on your screen, and we'll put a link on ours. Jordan, that gave us some insight into what we should be investing in.
Yes.
All right. Our thanks to Landon here and to Jordan Credit Union for sponsoring this interview. GTU back after the short break on your Friday. Stick around.